Hey there, this is Wake Angel 2001, and I was in Rhode Island on the weekend of the final season finale of Sonic Boom Season 2, but fortunately it was posted online within hours of the original airing, which is really cool. Recovering from the Rhode Island Comic-Con and having to go through a day of work, I finally got a chance to watch both episodes. Episode 51 and 52. Eggman, the video game, and... Wait, I got the exact titles here. Eggman, the video game, Part 1, and Eggman, the video game, Part 2, The End of the World. Pretty epic titles. And I gotta say, this is probably the most epic episode of the entire series. Like, it had everything. It had tons of fourth wall humor, references, comedy beats, a ton, and I mean a ton, of action, good quality action, not just random slapstick humor, but good stuff, and like, it was just pretty darn awesome. It's like they're trying to make the best possible last impression so that demand can go up for a third season. And like I was saying, I've been wanting a third season ever since I heard that this show existed. So quick note, with episode 52 of season 2, that makes 104 episodes. On paper, you might think that this would make it the longest running Sonic the Hedgehog series, which beats out Sonic X at 78 episodes. Unfortunately, because of the 11-minute format, each episode only counts as a half episode. Remember, they brought this exact same thing up with the 100th episode of Aqua Teen Hunger Force. So 104 episodes in an 11-minute format only counts as 52 episodes in a standard 22-minute format. Allotting time for commercials. So, unfortunately, this is not the longest running Sonic the Hedgehog series. It's in fact tied for third place, with Sonic X's 78 episodes keeping it in first place, with Sonic Underground and Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog tied for second with 60 episodes apiece, and then we have this one which has its 52. But, if it gets a third season, that would be, and they had another 52 episodes. Even accounting for the format, they'll be adding 26. 26 added to 52 is 78. It'll put it in a tie with Sonic X. So, let's hope for at least one more season. Alright, so let's actually talk about the series itself. The season finale. I guess the episode begins with another pitch for a Sonic Boom variant of All-Stars Racing, with Sonic and Tails racing in their cars. I found the difference between this version of Tails and proper Universe Tails. This Universe Tails can be kind of thoughtless to his friends occasionally. Because he accepts Sonic's challenge to a race, apparently completely forgetting that Knuckles was hoverboarding on the back of his truck, causing him to get slammed against every wall and rock in the canyon. Of course, Knuckles is pretty tough, and you never wonder why Knuckles doesn't just let go of the handle he's holding, but it really Tails. That's kind of the thing that you should have been doing, Tails. I mean, if you want to be sympathetic to the audience. All right, so with the initial opening beat done, Tails. Amy says she's trying to make a baked Alaska, but she's out of eggs. So Sonic says she's going to go buy him some for her, and he drives into town and splashes mud on Dr. Eggman. Sonic offers Eggman to splash mud on him to square him off, but Eggman can't make a big enough splash. So he just summons a bunch of robots, and the robots fight Sonic, and he beats them. And at the end of the day, everyone's cheering Sonic, but Eggman's like, I'm the one that got splashed with mud! Why aren't I the victim? And everybody hides when Eggman gets mad. So he feels that he has a poor self-image. Guess that's what happens when you're a villain, huh? So So Eggman sees that everybody's clamoring at the game store because the new Tommy Thunder video game has just been released. And Tommy Thunder, speaking in Tommy Thunder's third person, says that his image has gone up so much since Tommy Thunder got the Tommy Thunder video game. So Eggman decides that he's gonna make a video game. And he makes a video game which, based on what's seen on the screen, it looks a little bit like Pitfall. So it's like Super Stash Man or something like that. The problem is that Sonic Boom is set in the opposite universe, where people don't really like retro-style 2D action platformers and only care about high-intensity graphics, gratuitous violence, and motion capture animation. Wow. It's like almost the exact opposite of what people say about video gaming in this world. Like specifically the Sonic franchise, because nobody can heap enough praise on Sonic Mania, the retro-style 2D side-scrolling platformer, but people were actually lining up on the wagon to just put endless hatred directed towards Sonic Forces. No matter how the game came out, there were always going to have people that said negative things about it. So, yeah. But I'm not gonna be talking about the gaming industry because this episode has. Okay, if I did a beat for beat retelling, this vlog would be twice as long as the actual videos. Because holy crap, man, there is so much. Okay, so Dr. Eggman feels that if he's gonna make a better video game that people will actually want to buy. Oh, and this is where they throw in a bunch of references like the Super Plumber Brothers, and a Mortal Kombat thing. Like they start mentioning popular game franchises. So Dr. Eggman stages a robot attack on the village, with his spy bots recording the battle. This way, when Sonic and all of his friends fight the robots, he can capture their motions and use it for his video game. And this scene is awesome. Like I said, the action scenes in this episode are absolutely top tier. They are some of the best that I've ever seen. Like, you almost forget that this is supposed to be a comedy series because it is straight up action focused in this episode. So I don't even know where to continue. After capturing all of Sonic's movements in fighting the robot army, Dr. Eggman tries to do his own moves. But the thing is, he's not very athletic, so his moves don't look anywhere near as impressive as Sonic and his friends. And he can't have the protagonist be less impressive than the heroes, than the villains, because he's going to be the protagonist of his video game. So Orbot suggests getting someone who actually is athletically capable of taking on Sonic and putting him and capturing his motions and then superimposing Eggman's skin on top of it. So the only person that's actually a physical match for Sonic is, of course, Shadow, who apparently just kind of hangs out in the woods. So Eggman comes up to Shadow and asks him to do the thing, but Shadow says, "I'm not working with you. Go away." So Eggman figures that the best way to do this is to get Shadow to get mad at Sonic. So he goes up to Sonic and asks some questions about Shadow, and Sonic's like, "I haven't really seen Shadow in weeks. Don't you want to fight him? Don't you think he's dumb?" "No, he's not dumb. I don't get it." But when Eggman goes up, he shows some doctored video of Sonic of Sonic's speech, and like he phrases like, "Shadow is a weak dumbass." like the cuts and edits are so obvious, but it tricks Shadow. Makes me kind of question Shadow's intelligence, but when you think about it, Shadow is this is a comedy-centered series, so having Shadow be that easy to fool is actually in keeping with the tone of the series overall, even if this particular episode it feels a little bit out of place. So Shadow, bent on getting revenge for Sonic calling him weak and stuff, attacks Knuckles, pounding him through a wall. And when Tails asks Shadow what he's doing there, says, "Fox hunting." Awesome. So there's a fight, and he beats the crap out of Knuckles and Tails. I mean, it's Knuckles' constitution allows him to take a lot of hits, but he just can't land anything on Shadow because he's using Chaos Control to avoid getting hit. Even when Styx and Amy, who are relatively competent as fighters, try to confront him, he easily dispatches them both. Amy calls for Sonic's help on the communicator, and Sonic comes in, and finally Sonic is actually able to be a match for Shadow. And this entire time, Eggman is just recording the action so that he can get Shadow's movements and put his own on top of them. Put his own skin on top of Shadow's movements. But again, I can't do justice to the awesomeness of this action scene. It's just fantastic. We haven't seen a proper Sonic and Shadow fight in, like, fully animated form since the Sonic X anime. So, yeah, this is actually really great. And yes, I know they had a little fight at the end of Season 1, but this fight is just so much better than that fight. Like this isn't some quickly played for a punchline fight. This is a full-on brawl. The two of them really go at each other. So finally, Sonic gets Shadow pinned and asks him what the hell is his deal, and that's when it's revealed that they use doctored footage. So of course, Shadow is going to get vengeance on Eggman now. So Eggman's in his lair and he's trying to compile all the footage into his video game when there's sudden banging at the door. There's a teleport shield, so Shadow can't just chaos control his way inside, but the door's not going to hold out much longer against his attacks. So Eggman has an idea. He's going to go to Steve, Eggman, and he tells Cubot and Norbot to stall. When Shadow breaks in, he confronts Cubot and Norbot, and within seconds their heads are on the roof. So Eggman goes to his brother Steve and tells him to shapeshift into him because Shadow's gonna kill him, rip out his spinal cord, and play it like a xylophone. No. You play ribs like a xylophone. If you're gonna rip out the spine, you pluck that like a guitar string. Eggman really doesn't know how instrument gore works. So Steve Eggman is not very keen on being torn apart by Shadow, so he suggests that they use the dimensional transporter to send Eggman into another universe. Where Eggman says, "Oh, that's great! I can send an alternate version of Eggman here to play Patsy." Oh, and by the way, you might want to turn into something less Eggman-like for the duration of this. So he opens up a portal and goes into it, and Steve turns into a little ceramic unicorn trinket, which Mombot takes and puts on her shelf, her little trinket shelf. So, in the other universe, the one he chooses to go to is the one with the black suits, Dr. Eggman, who has a very charming scar on his face I never noticed before. So, this Eggman, he's trying to math out a way to get revenge, but our Eggman says, "Hey, I'm from that dimension where Sonic came from, so you can go there and get your revenge. I'll send you." Cool. So he goes like, "Haha, sucker." Oh, but they do mention like the Eggman starts to phase a little bit, and he says, "Okay, but we can't stay long because when two of the same people are in a dimension, it causes a catastrophic anomaly that can destroy the universe." Of course, this is common knowledge. I'm a little bit sad that they're establishing this plot point so hard, because it could really mean that they just will not have a collaboration. Like, we can have Sonic meet classic Sonic, and that's fine. Apparently, if they're going to apply Sonic Boom's rule of universe destruction to the proper universe, then classic Sonic existing in Sonic's universe for 3 days kind of violates that rule. Unless classic Sonic is different enough from regular Sonic that the universe doesn't notice, in which case we can actually have Boom Sonic meet, or Sonic's universe is a little bit more durable and can withstand 3 days of two with the same people existing in it. I'm just saying, I know somewhere out there there's people that want a crossover between Sonic Boom and regular Sonic and want to see them meet each other, but whatever. So, when the black suit Eggman comes in, Sonic calls him Emo Eggman, to which he says, "I'm not emo, I just don't care for garish colors." And he takes out a lightsaber, and what follows is another cool fight scene! This Eggman is willing to get his hands dirty, and he's actually a good fighter. He's a competent swordsman and pushes Sonic to his limits. He actually, he even manages to graze Sonic. You see smoke coming off his chest. Of course, Sonic is injured and tired from his fight against Shadow, but still, this Eggman is pretty badass. Of course, the fight only lasts long enough for Shadow to show up, and he says, "You're not gonna fool me with your disguise." So he goes to attack him, and that's when they say, like, "Oh, this is the parallel universe thing." So they go into the portal back into the Purple Sky universe, and that's where they finally meet the last player in the game, Metal Sonic. So yep, it's just a rule. Like, remember how I said in the season finale of the first season they didn't have Metal Sonic in it, and considering how it was supposed to be a collection of all the villains from that season in one area, like, that's kind of a very noticeable lack. Well, they fixed that here because they put Metal Sonic right here. And not only that, but he's been programmed with all the motion capture data, so he knows how to fight like everyone. Oh, I don't really remember where I found the episode transition, but I think this might be where they to be continued. So now we're talking about episode 52, the end of the world. So again, an awesome battle sequence comes up as Sonic and Shadow fight together against Metal Sonic, but Metal Sonic, being programmed with their moves, is able to counter them in almost every way. So it's a really even match, and it's really good. And Eggman is attacking in his Eggmobile, and the fight just goes all over the place and looks awesome. But the portal gets opened back up again, and everyone goes back into the proper Boom universe. Meaning that, yes, we now have two Eggman in the same universe again. So they keep on, the fight keeps going on, and when Sonic's friends get involved, Metal Sonic starts to get a little bit overwhelmed, because even though he's programmed with all their moves, just by sheer attrition, he can't fight all 6 of these people at the same time. So Styx manages to get the killing blow in by using her bow staff to knock out his engine. But that's when Shadow reveals that he's just had it with this entire universe messing around with him. So he says that he captured the 2 Eggmen and took them to a secret location. And he's going to allow the anomaly that will result from the 2 of them being in the same universe at the same time to destroy everything around him. Because this Shadow does not mess around! You do not want to piss off this Shadow! Like, apparently we really need Rouge and Omega to exist in this universe, because without his friends, this guy becomes a psycho! Yeah, like, come on. Like, anyone who played Sonic Forces, tell me that Shadow isn't a barely contained psychopath who just has a couple of attachments in the world that keep him feeling that, yeah, as long as they're living in it, this world's worth preserving. Like, Shadow's supposedly immortal, right? I mean, Omega is a robot, so he can theoretically live forever too, but I'm afraid, like, in the future, when Rouge dies of old age and Shadow's still around, like, he's probably gonna go insane. Oh, that could probably be like a future thing, like Sonic's grandson having to fight the insane Shadow. That would be a thing. Okay, so let's get into the lighter subject. So what happens now is a cameo fest, because Tails goes to rebuild the Metal Sonic, because Metal Sonic has a homing beacon that'll automatically track Dr. Eggman. But everybody else is going off on searches to see if they can find Eggman themselves. So we got like Styx in her spacesuit flying the plane. We have Eggman. We have Knuckles and Amy swimming in the ocean in the scuba gear. We even get a quick cameo from Vector the Crocodile, who's trying to use a magnifying glass. All the while, the anomaly is causing terrible weather. So Tails finally manages to fix Metal Sonic, who immediately starts flying off to get to Eggman, and he finds the 2 of them tied together in a cave. They untie them. The Eggmans say a tearful goodbye to their friends. I guess they had time to really talk to each other and get to know each other a lot better while they were tied together in that cave. Emo Eggman retreats to his regular universe, instantly restoring the proper Boom universe. And Shadow says that despite the fact that this isn't how he wanted things to turn out, he's impressed by their ability to fix everything. But he says that the next time that they meet, it'll be on his terms, and he teleports away. So Eggman, after all this, Eggman says, "Alright, now I can finally get to making my awesome video game." To which Orbot tells him that during the catastrophic anomalies, the layer got struck by lightning and that destroyed the data in his computers. To which Eggman says, oh well, there's always next season. So, yeah, that's our glimmer of hope that we have a next season. But but until then, this was quite a ride. This was a fantastic episode. Like, I've already heaped all the praise. I'm just gonna repeat myself. Just, this episode had some comedy in it, but you could almost be forgiven for thinking that this was just a straight-up action series at this point. Because, holy crap, the action in this episode was fantastic. We had car races, we had robot fights, we had doppelganger fights, we had lightsaber fights. Like, everything about this was pretty darn awesome. And they even got in a couple of good-natured jabs at the fandom for like for their preferences in gaming, because of course you have to make gaming jokes in a Sonic cartoon. It's obligatory. Especially if you're a comedy-centered Sonic cartoon. So yeah, that's pretty much all I can say about it. Like, if you haven't seen this finale yet, watch this finale. Why haven't you? It's just great, and I really, truly hope that we get one more season, at least. Preferably a bunch more seasons. Like have this series last at least as long as Teen Titans Go. That's what I would say, because like that would be the balance of the universe. Like, if we had to suffer 200 episodes of Teen Titans Go, I want 200 episodes of Sonic Boom. See you around, guys.